Hello and welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. Before I get started today, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone for all of your kind words and comments on my last budgeting video. In case you don't know, I am divorced. My divorce is final, and up until the point where I got divorced, I felt like I was handling things pretty well. I've been divorced now for a couple of months, and all of a sudden things are hitting differently, and I'm feeling different now. And I needed a break from YouTube, so I took that break, and I'm back, and I am feeling a lot better. I really needed that break. Going forward, I'm going to take a break anytime I need it. I'm not going to push through if I'm not doing well mentally. But what we're going to do today is close out the month of March, and because I wasn't making videos this month, just to be completely transparent, I fell off the budgeting bandwagon. I didn't record my expenses here like I normally do. Here's February. I recorded my first week of expenses, and then I just fell off. So what I had to do today is I printed off. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, I can't show you without sharing like personal information, but I printed off all the transactions from my bank during the month, and then I went through and updated everything here. So that's where I got the numbers from, and I was very happy that I didn't go completely off the rails as far as budgeting goes. So let's go over the numbers. First of all, my first category is my fixed expenses. These are expenses that don't change very much month to month, and they include both bills and debts. Bills are things that are going to always exist, and debt is something that is eventually going to be paid off. So starting with debts, we had mortgage for $1,316. That's what we budgeted, and that was the actual amount. Car payment for $118, budgeted, and that was the actual amount. And loan number 2, which is a debt consolidation loan, altogether, it's paid weekly, but altogether it's $568 for budget, and that's what it actually was. So we were right on target as far as our debt payments go. They're very fixed. Bills, on the other hand, do fluctuate a little bit, so let's go over those numbers. Car insurance, we budgeted $231, it was $235. That is for 2 cars. I say car insurance, but it's State Farm, which covers 2 cars and our homeowner's insurance, so it's 3 things for $235. Internet, $109. Cell phones, we budgeted $83. It was only $75. It was cheaper because this is the average that we spend on cell phones. But we have a plan where if we use them less, we spend less, we owe less. So it was only $75 this month. This was for our water and electricity through our city, and we're on budgeting billing, so it's exactly what we budgeted, $406. Gas for the house, we went down a little bit. It's not as cold as we expected, so we were budgeting $74, but it was only $64 because we didn't need to use our heater as much. We already did car payment. Garbage, this is a fixed amount, $25. Netflix was $17, what we budgeted, and that's how much it actually was. And HBO, for some reason, I had it budgeted wrong. I had it budgeted at $15, but it was actually $18. Okay, so all together, let's see how much we spent there. So we budgeted $29.62, and we only ended up spending $29.51. And I did break down the total I spent in each category for bills and debt, because when we go to do the end of the month closeout pages in just a moment here, these are 2 separate categories. Okay, coming down to our variable expenses. So for groceries, we budgeted $800. That's an average of $200 a week. We went over, but not by too much. We spent $887. I've been trying not to eat out since January, as the new year was one of my goals not to eat out. We did eat out several times, so this includes both groceries and eating out, and we still were able to keep it pretty low in my opinion, considering that we ate out. So I'm okay with this. And also because these two categories were actually less than what we budgeted. So gas for the car, we budgeted $80, but we only ended up spending $24 on gas this month. Miscellaneous, we budgeted $200. This is for like household expenses, prescription medications, things like that. Like household goods like paper goods, cleaning products, things like that. So $200 is what we budgeted, but we only spent $119 this month. Spending money, this is the like allowance set for each family member. We budget $220 for that, and that's exactly what we do. We do that as cash at the beginning of the month, so that's why it doesn't change. So let's see how much we spent all together. $1,250, and we budgeted $1,300, so we were actually below budget in this category as well. So this is pretty nice. We were below here and below here. This is good because we actually had lower income this month as well. So coming over to sinking funds, some things have changed. We've taken out Christmas and car maintenance. Those are now things that I am personally going to be responsible for. I'm going to do my own Christmas gifts for the boys, and David will do his own Christmas gifts for the boys. I'm the one who drives the car, so I'm going to take over car maintenance. David doesn't drive at all. According to our divorce agreement, he's helping with car registration and the car payment, but I'm going to take over for any unexpected car maintenance costs going forward in the future. We're setting aside $20 a month for Mork for going to the vet, which we are keeping. Car registration is $20 a month, which we're keeping. Amazon, we've paid that, so now we only need to save $10 a month going forward, and Sam's Club is $10 a month. So our sinking funds have gone down from $200 a month to $60 a month, the family sinking funds. My personal sinking funds are going to change, and that will be coming. I'll give you more details about that in a future video. Coming down here to the second set of sinking funds, the sinking funds I was covering this month, so Christmas and car maintenance are going to be moved down here for next month. But I wasn't able to put anything in here because I didn't have any extra income. After paying what I was obligated to pay according to my divorce agreement, I didn't have any extra income, so I wasn't able to do any of that this month. Same with savings challenges. This is what I do if I have extra income, and I wasn't able to do that this month either. I am working on bringing some extra income in. I have brought back mystery kits. We're going to start with that and see if that takes care of the problem. If not, then I will continue to make changes to the work I do. So if I need to bring in more money, I can bring in more money. Okay, so that is the whole budget. So let's see what the total was, what we budgeted versus what we actually spent. So we budgeted, I'm just going to put down here. So we budgeted a total of $4,562, but we actually spent, let's see what we actually spent. We actually spent only $42.61. Like I said earlier, we had a smaller income, so it's important that we spent less this month. So 4,562 minus 4,261. So that was a difference of $301. So we survived. We lived off of $301 less this month than we did for the month of February. Okay, let's go to the end of the month and let's compare. And let's close out, just do all the end of the month worksheets to close out the budget. Okay, so starting here with our total monthly inflow. So this month, our total monthly inflow was $42.61. We don't share our income. I don't go into detail about these things here. I just tell you what our total monthly inflow was. Okay, so for debt, for what we spent this month, it was exactly 2002, which is what we budgeted. So that's a difference of 0. For bills, we budgeted $960, but we only spent $949. So we were under budget there by $11. Food, we budgeted $800, but we spent $887, so we were over budget by $87. For gas, we budgeted $80, but we only spent $24. So we were under budget by $56. For miscellaneous, we budgeted $200. We only spent $119. So we were under budget by $81 there. For spending, we budgeted $220, and that's exactly what we did. Savings challenges, we always budget 0. I hope to have extra money to do savings challenges, but I didn't have extra money this month, so I didn't do that. For sinking funds, we budgeted $200, but we only did $60. So we were under budget by $140 there. And then for the second sinking funds, the ones that I do on my own, I budgeted $100, but I wasn't able to do that this month, so that was 0. So the difference is $100. Okay, so now it's time to calculate the percent of total monthly inflow. The equation is down here if you ever forget how to do it, but the way you do it is you take the monthly spent total and divide that by the monthly inflow. So for example, for debt, it's $2,002. We're going to take that and we're going to divide it by 42.61, and that will give us our percent of total monthly inflow. And that I always round up, so it says 46.98, so I'm going to round up to 47. So 47% of our income went to debt. Next is bills. And that was 23%. So 23% of our income went to bills. Next is food. $21 went to food. Okay, next is gas. $1 went to gas. Next is miscellaneous. $3 went to miscellaneous. Next is spending. $5 went to spending. Savings challenges, nothing went there, 0. 0 went to sinking funds number 2. Okay, so sinking funds number 1. I'm sorry. 1% went to sinking funds number 1. Okay, let's move on to the next worksheet. This is where did my money go, monthly debt and savings breakdown. So to start with, our total monthly inflow was $42.61. And all together here, let's see how much we paid off. 2002. Oh yeah, I already knew that. I didn't need to calculate that again. Okay, so percent of inflow to debt was, coming back over here to our chart, was 47%. Okay, and I have 3 debt categories: loan number 2, mortgage, and our SUV. So now I'm going to calculate the percent of the category amount that went to debt. So I'll take 568, divide it by 2002, and that will give me my percent. So 28% went to loan number 2. $66% went to mortgage. That is definitely our biggest debt. And 6% went to our SUV. Okay, coming over here to savings categories. So the total monthly income is different from the total monthly inflow, but because we don't share our income, I just use the total monthly inflow as in this example to show you how to do it. And sometimes it's the same, but it can be different depending on where your income came from, whether it was what you started. You may have had money to start with, then you have your earned income, and then you may have other income, and then you have savings used. So that's what the total of all of that together is the inflow, but just the income itself is this category here, earned income. So that's why they have two different titles, and that is also why, but I wanted to explain to you why my numbers were the same. It's because of how much we choose to share. Okay, so total monthly savings was $60, and we only did one category. These would be 0. So 60 divided by 60 is 100%. So 100% of our $60 went to sinking funds number 1. Our percent of income saved, so I'm going to take the 60 divided by 4261. And that would be 1%. So 1% of our income went to savings this month. Okay, moving on to the final page of Where Did My Money Go? This is the Where Did My Money Go monthly spending comparison. So I've already filled in February. I'm going to go ahead and fill in March now that I have all the numbers. I'm going to get the information from here. I need to know the amount we spent and the percent of the budget. It'd be this column here and this column here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that quickly, and then I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, and I am back. So we're going to take a look at the percent that changed in each category, but first let's look at the monthly inflow change. So last month we had 4,568 as our inflow. This month it was 4,261. So let's calculate the difference there. So that was a difference of $307. So we made $307 less this month. Than we did the month before. Okay, moving on to the change amount. So last month 44% of our budget went to debt. This month 47% of our budget went to debt. So that was an increase of 3%. Down here for bills, last month it was 21%. This month it's 23%. So that's an increase of 2%. For food, 17% went to food. This month it was 21, so that is a difference of 4. We spent 4% more on food. Gas went down. We have 1% less spent on gas. Miscellaneous went down. We spent 2% less on miscellaneous. Spending stayed exactly the same. Savings, we spent 2% less on savings. Sinking funds, number 1, we spent 3% less. And sinking funds number 2, we spent 1% less on those categories. Okay, so that is it for the month of March. My plan is to come back in with everything in April. So I'll do the April setup, I'll do the weekly check-ins, and then we'll do the monthly closeout at the end. So I will be back very soon in the next few days to get April set up, because April is starting on Monday. So we'll come back very soon and get that. I will come back very soon and get that set up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all again next time. Bye everyone.
If I could hear my father's voice, he would tell me to move on. He would say I'll be just fine. Yeah, he would tell me we have time, time to laugh and time to heal. Our favorite song is on repeat, drinking wine until the dawn.